defense. Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic live edition of the DFS Week 11 Smash or Pass episode of the Three Man Rush podcast. I'm your host, Landon Oliver, here with my two co-hosts, Andrew Scott, Big Jared, Holly down there. What's going on, fellas?
Damn. Just ready for Detroit Rock City. That Buffalo game getting moved changes everything. So
thank God, man.
Live from the Silver Dome, brother.
How about those pictures of the Buffalo Stadium?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Pontiac Silver Dome.
I couldn't imagine them. Like, that's crazy. Like, when I figured they would play, but I had no idea that they were going to get the kind of weather they got. That's insane.
Pussies.
Jeez, man. They can
played it.
You can't run in that. You can't do anything in that kind of weather conditions.
You can run the football.
Not Buffalo. They'd find a way not to.
Love to see old 5'7" Devin Singletary out there under 72 inches of snow.
You get lost.
Burying like one of those groundhogs.
Yeah, he get lost in the snow right now. That's for sure.
Lost in the sauce.
Y'all ready for a little daily fantasy goodness?
Well, as ready as I'll ever be.
All right.
Let's talk quarterbacks then. Who we like at quarterback this week, Jared?
Oh, well, I like Mr. Josh Allen at quarterback this week.
Speaking of, yeah.
Coming off of 2 losses, they're going to fire away no matter what. They're going to play in the dome. They went from the worst weather conditions imaginable to playing in the best scenario they possibly could play in. Yeah, I love Josh Allen this week. Justin Fields is in another great spot. Fade him at your own risk at this point. Outside of Fields and Josh Allen, I'm kind of torn, man. Like, there's some good value. Like, Jalen Hurts is still Jalen Hurts, but they're playing the Colts, and the Colts do play to run really well.
Well, I'll say this too when it comes to that. There's a good chance there's some illnesses going around there in the old stadium in Indianapolis, and they could, Quiddy Hayes rolled out. They could also be missing Braden Smith, the right tackle, which week is back. Could be missing Isaiah Rodgers and Zaire Franklin on defense as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So
monitor before kickoff injury report is what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. So they could be out multiple of their pretty crucial defensive players.
Yeah, Philly coming off a loss too. It could be Justin Hurts. He could be definitely a smash. But man, I love Josh Allen this week. Like that. That's the guy to pay up for, in my opinion. And obviously we'll get the wide receiver, but the stack with Stephon Diggs is automatic. He's double stackable. You can use Dawson Knox. You can use Gabe Davis. Yeah, that's my smash. What do you think, Drew?
I like Dak a lot this week. Minnesota's 7th, giving up the 7th most points to the quarterback over the last 8 weeks. And I think that game has the 2nd highest over-under, just behind the Falcons and Bears game. So I like Dak quite a bit this week. If you want to play the matchups, the top 2 at the list are gross, but Daniel Jones, Lions give up the most points to the quarterback over the last 8 weeks. And then Russell Wilson, the Raiders give up the 2nd most points to the quarterback over the last 8 weeks. But Russell Wilson, you're talking about no Jerry Jeudy. I think no KJ Hamler as well. So that one's really gross. But if you want to play the matchups, those are the two guys this week. But I don't know if I'm going to have – I might play Daniel Jones in a lineup or two. I don't think I can play Russell Wilson, even after what I said on the podcast earlier this week about the matchup, and that was like basically Russell Wilson's only good game this year. It's still – it's scary, man.
What y'all think about Taylor?
I think that's my favorite play.
I like Heineke. I'm in on that. My only concern with that is they're playing Houston, and Houston's so bad against the run, but they're also bad against the pass. They're just bad in general. So I like a Heineke, Terry McLaurin stack a lot, actually. I think that's a good stack.
Heineke makes me nervous because So the Texans, they're kind of like the Jets were last year. Like, it's not that their secondary is good, but they don't give up a lot of points to the quarterback position because everybody just runs on them the whole game.
Yeah,
so
that's
like Houston's given up the sixth least amount of points to the quarterback position over the last 8 weeks, and it's not like they're winning those games or anything. It's just nobody has to pass against them.
Yeah,
I think Heineke throws for 2 touchdowns in this game.
He could. I mean, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities.
No, it's not.
I would almost play, like, for what the point Drew just made, like, I would rather pay down for someone like Heineke opposed to paying up for Fields this week because of the matchup. Like, I know Atlanta's defense is god-awful, but Atlanta runs the ball so much that it's going to take away possessions from Fields. And like, to me, like, possessions are everything, where Buffalo, no matter how many points they're up, they're going to throw the ball. They just throw the ball nonstop. That's just how they are. Where Fields, like, I just worry about how many possessions they could have against Atlanta.
Also, too, I didn't know if you saw that, but Derek Stingley Jr. was ruled out as well.
Oh, for Houston?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a difference for sure.
Hello, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. That's a big one there. So, and then on Washington side, they did J.D. McKissick's out.
Oh yeah,
that backfield's really tough though, man. Like, it's hard to pinpoint what direction.
It's a lot less tough whenever McKissick doesn't play, though.
Very true. I mean, that's Antonio Gibson. Then at that point, if you're
he's also been dealing with a knee injury as well this week. He practiced in full all week, but he had a little tweak to his knee. So
Gibson,
Gibson did. So yeah, I think it's going to be, and then plus too, like, Houston's a dome stadium as well. So
it is.
Houston's a dome stadium. Yeah, I just got a feeling like they're going to air it out.
I would be for it. Like, I'm not against the Heineke stack.
He's plus, man, like, the way that they attack, the way Washington attacks is like, it's really like conducive to attacking like Tampa 2, like cover 2 coverages. And that's what Lovie Smith likes to run. He runs a lot of Tampa 2 concepts out there. So like they're just deep shots, I think, are going to be like the name of the game.
I will say to Landon's credit too, on the Heineke call, it opens up a lot because he's 6,800 on FanDuel. So like, you can easily stack him with Terry McLaurin and still have plenty of salary to play around with. So I mean, it makes a ton of sense.
I just didn't know how y'all felt about him. I didn't know if you knew like Stingley was out or any of that other stuff.
The world of difference.
It just seemed, like I said, I think like it's a bad matchup passing game wise for Houston, which is weird because like Heineke didn't really do anything last week, but it's just these two teams match up very similar to like how we were talking about Green Bay and Tennessee last week, and like, it's just a bad matchup for a team like that. And like, I think the way that Houston, like the way their defensive coverages roll, is just like there's going to be like a couple of deep shots in this game that get hit, and it's just like, okay, like a couple bombs for touchdowns, couple good good scoring opportunities there. But also, man, I love Justin Fields this week. Love Justin Fields.
It's kind of hard not to. Last 2 weeks, he's literally if you didn't play him, you lost. I mean, it was that easy.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think he's only going to continue to get better too as the weeks go on. So
agreed.
That's
I think Dak at 7,500 probably going to be my favorite play this week at quarterback. The more and more I look at it, he's the guy I just keep coming to. I don't mind Burrow either against Pittsburgh. Their secondary has been pretty bad. So I don't mind Burrow.
Burrow is that's a sneaky one because a lot of people are going to play Pittsburgh's defense because of that price point. So you get away from the chalk because you're not going to play Pittsburgh's defense. And Burrow, he's always got upside for sure, and relatively safe floor too with those receivers, even though Chase is out.
Minka practiced in full today too, finally. So it'll be
he
back.
did.
Yeah.
And just to counter to Burrow conversation, I don't hate Kenny Pickett this week, man. I do like Kenny Pickett this week.
I can't do it, man. Cincinnati gives up the fourth least amount of points over the last 8 weeks to the quarterback position. I can't see Kenny Pickett being the guy to break that.
Yeah. I think he's got a shot. Outside of that, I think value-wise, we're pretty much at a standstill. Yeah, you can argue. One that's interesting, man, is we mentioned Daniel Jones. That's not a bad pick. So what's your thoughts on okay, I'm gonna put it out there. What's your thoughts on Lamar Jackson if he gets Mark Andrews back?
I mean, the only thing wrong, it was just an illness. It wasn't like a injury. So I imagine he'll probably be just fine. I think that game is going to be a blowout though too. So
that's my worry. I mean, they've got a high team total, 27. 27-point team total. Carolina, I don't think Carolina has enough to keep the game close.
Not with Baker back there.
Yeah, I like Baltimore's defense this week.
It's a good call.
Yeah. Lamar makes me nervous only for that fact that I'm afraid they might get up early and just be able to cruise home. But if they do get a big early, Lamar could be a huge reason why they're up early. So he could still have a good game. Like the matchup's great.
I mean, for 300 more, though, you can play Justin Fields in a much closer game environment according, to the spreads and everything. So it doesn't really make sense to play Lamar Jackson.
You know, big Arthur Smith is going to be scoring points out there.
Just to spite Drew.
To Tyler Algier, 3 touchdowns.
God, I do actually like an Atlanta running back a whole lot this week.
Did Cordell?
We're not talking running backs yet, but when we get there, his name will most definitely come up.
I don't know. We were just talking Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson.
Oh, come on now.
That's messed up.
I'm just trying to get a rise out of just messing with people.
So on the pass portion of this show, it's pretty much everybody outside of the ones we named.
I did a Burrow guy this week.
I don't feel good about playing Andy Dalton, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, Baker Mayfield.
Stay away from Derek Carr. Stay away from Matt Ryan.
Jared Goff, I don't like. Yeah, Matthew Stafford, I don't. Yeah, it's a rough week, and I don't even know if Stafford's going to play or not. But
he should. I would imagine.
Yeah. Stafford's off the injury report. He's going to play.
Oh, he's going to play. Okay.
Yeah.
No Cooper Kupp.
Oof.
It's going to be gross.
Sclerotic time.
So there was one name I didn't mention on that list. What do you guys feel about Matt Ryan this week?
No.
No way.
Well, I'll say this from Matt.
Oh,
Dude,
we got
Philadelphia gives up the least amount of points to the
we
quarterback
got one
in the
that's
last
second
8
guessing.
weeks. There's no way.
So
Philadelphia's EPA on passes over 7 yards per attempt, which is majority of quarterbacks. They're like third or fourth in the league. When it comes to quarterbacks below that 7 yards per attempt, which Matt Ryan is at 6.7, one of the worst in the league. A lot of dump offs. They are very susceptible to dinking and dunking your way down the field. So he could be very, very efficient. The way this defense plays, or the way they're covered, because they run basically it's almost like a 5-2 variation where they run a lot of 7-8 yards off of the wide receivers. Their coverages and zone coverages and stuff, and it just makes for easy passes. So there's yards after catch, opportunities there for guys like Paris Campbell, who we've seen recently with yards after catch, and Pittman and stuff. So I mean, he not necessarily saying like he's going to air it out down the field, but he very easily could be a beneficiary of yards after catch and like peeking and dunking their way down the field, because they are one of the 10 worst defenses when it comes to that type of ways to attack their defense. So
I think
I'm probably going no as well.
I think Paris Campbell's going to get a little bit of steam based on his performance the last couple of weeks, and but I don't think a whole lot. I think the reason why I mentioned Matt Ryan right now, Jonathan Taylor's not projecting for a lot of ownership, but I don't think that's going to be the case with the way the Eagles have not been able to stop the run. So I see Jonathan Taylor gathering quite a bit of ownership, and to be contrarian to get off of the Taylor, maybe Matt Ryan might be a good play in a big field tournament. And
I think Taylor could be a good play this week. Like I said, it all depends.
Taylor's a great play this week.
Well, it depends really on the offensive. Like if Braden Smith is out, then that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Then you got to imagine either Dennis Kelly, which if Dennis Kelly comes in, I mean, it's not ideal, but if Matt Pryor's back out there, that offensive line is screwed.
Yeah. That was pretty much my only one that maybe teetered not on a pass, but I think you guys pretty much convinced me not to play Matt Ryan as well.
I wouldn't. I mean, I think it's more like he holds more real life value than he does fantasy value in this game.
Okay. Drew, you got anything else?
No. I think we can go to running backs. You guys kind of just had a nice transition going with JT there anyway. So let's just talk running backs.
Let's talk running backs.
I like Jonathan Taylor,
and I do like JT. If yeah, especially if you guys are happy with the offensive line, how it ends up sorting out. I said it Wednesday night when we were talking about the Eagles Colts game that run defense hasn't looked right with Jordan Davis out, and so
they did sign Linval Joseph. They did sign Ndamukong Suh the other day as well. So
I don't that might be good for the next couple weeks. I don't know how worried that would make me.
I would say they probably split. They go 20-25, plays per guy. I would imagine snaps. But what that allows, it's not necessarily about them as players. It's about what it allows other guys to do on the defensive line. So, now they actually have a true zero tech there that they can line up in that, because when they do that 5-2, they like to line up in front, they like to line up the nose tackle on the center. And Indy runs an inside zone blocking scheme. And especially, like I said, if Braden Smith is out, and even if not, he's tweaked his back. So back injuries are never a good thing. Like the way that they attack, and they're constantly rotating guys. So you see a lot of the, you look at the sack numbers there, and you're like, well, like this guy's only got 2 sacks. This guy's only got 3 sacks. Like they're not really doing much sack wise. Then you realize how much they rotate and they keep guys fresh. So guys, their numbers are a little bit downplayed, but it's beneficial to the team. It's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup for what they do on defense, and the way whereas like Houston or like Washington, for example, like they run like a very heavy, like, in your face, like smash mouth type of, they don't run like that zone type of blocking. So it's just a bad matchup.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I absolutely love this week. There's 2 people, but I'm going to let Drew, because he is the ultimate fan of one of them, and I think him and I are on the same page with that one. But man, I love Dalvin Cook this week. I really like Dalvin Cook a lot. Another team struggling against the run is the Dallas Cowboys. Minnesota is blocking extremely well. Dalvin Cook, there's not much split. Alexander Madison is not a threat to Dalvin Cook's carries at all. He is the workhorse. So you're almost guaranteed to get 20 touches out of a guy, no matter what the scenario is. He can pass, or if they do get in a trailing situation, you can still catch the ball in the backfield. In a game that's supposed to be hyper competitive, I think Dalvin Cook's a wonderful play this week.
Yeah, I agree. I like Dalvin this week too. Fire up any running back that gets to play against the Houston Texans. So I'm good with both Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. I prefer Antonio Gibson just because they're the same exact price, and I think Gibson's the better talent. So I'm just going to bet on the talent. And
if you wanted to go like what Landon was talking about earlier, a cheap stack is McLaurin, Gibson, and Taylor Heineke. And just bank on them passing the ball, and Gibson gets some pass work and gets maybe an end zone a couple of times. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And then my other favorite play this weekend is Cordell Patterson against the Chicago Bears. The Bears have given up the 4th most points to the running back position over the last 8 weeks, and specifically rushing touchdowns. I think that they're like 3rd or 4th in the league in terms of that given up as well. We know that whenever Cordell Patterson does score touchdowns, he seems to do so in bunches. So I could see this end up being like a weird Cordell Patterson 2-touchdown week. But like even if the touchdowns aren't there, I think he gets in the end zone at least once. Like I'll definitely have a Cordell Patterson anytime touchdown bet in this weekend.
I think it's a safe call.
I'm a big Saquon Barkley guy this week.
Yeah. That's what I thought Drew was going to go with too.
I left that one for you because you did choose him for our YouTube thumbnail cover boy this weekend, so I figured I would let you bring his name up.
Yeah, I mean, what is there not to like? And the good thing is is the Giants' run block defense has been actually rather good all season. I mean, the guy is the epitome of a every down back. He can't be stopped right now. He's looked like the best running back all year. They're playing Detroit. Yeah, I mean, what else can you really say? Yeah, line them up. That's a good one for sure.
I mean, I actually I guess I like both running backs in that Atlanta Chicago matchup because I like David Montgomery this week too. Atlanta also hasn't been good against the run, and there's no Khalil Herbert. I don't know how much. I don't think I like his game personally, but I don't think rookie Treston Ebner is going to step in and like take as much work away from Montgomery as Herbert was. So I think he could get a higher percentage of the carries this weekend, and it's a good matchup. So, but it's tough because the best running back on the team also plays quarterback. So, Montgomery's tough in that aspect now that they're actually using Fields the correct way. So that part makes me a little bit nervous, but the matchup's good though. So.
Drew, I was going to follow up with you on the Patterson call, which I think is a great call too.
I'll be back here in a second.
Yeah, you're good, bro. Is obviously they've been running the committee of backs with Atlanta. I'm sure his snap count's still a lot higher than Algier and Huntley's. Correct.
Yeah, let me grab that real quick. I can get that for you.
Okay, that's the only question mark with Cordell, because I know Atlanta's running the ball at a crazy. They're like Cleveland Browns running the ball at this point. Like they flat out refuse to pass.
He's played 39 and 38% of snaps the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
13 carries in one, 5 in the other. So
that's about all
snap
we need.
percentages, yeah, it stayed around that 40% mark. I would like to go that to see that go up a little bit, but
with his playmaking ability too, though, he can just go off. Like
right.
he can totally wreck at the salary he's currently at too against the Bears.
Yeah, I'm it was this is week 3 of him coming back from injury. So I'm hoping this is when we start to see a little bit of an uptick, and the matchups there as well. So I'm hoping. I haven't looked at his ownership percentages, but I'm hoping with the injury that people will also be fading him as well.
So what's your thoughts on Kamara this week?
Alvin Kamara. The Rams have been pretty good against the run this year. But
what if I told you Alvin Kamara is the second most owned running back on the slate right now?
Really?
Behind Dameon Pierce. Granted,
Wow.
it's only Friday, but I don't know if that's going to let up because of his price. To me, he is a pass this week because I do think the Rams, while they've struggled recently, but I still believe in that pass rush defense, and I don't see playing Kamara at 25% ownership.
Yeah, virtually the only bad games the Rams have had against the run this week are against Christian McCaffrey. They had to play him in Carolina, and whenever he was with Carolina, they played him, and he had a good game. And then I think it was his first or second game. It was his first or second game after being traded to San Francisco. They had to play him again, and he had a good game. Outside of those 2 games, they've been pretty good against the running back position this year. So that's tough. I'm surprised that he's projected to be owned so highly owned this weekend.
Yeah, his salary is pretty comfortable. I mean, it's 7.5K, which is, that's a good price. But to me, like, I don't know. I would pay. At that price range, I would play Jamal Williams over him, which, that might be crazy to some folks. I would pay up for Dalvin Cook at 83, or I'd pay down for Brian Robinson instead. Nick Chubb's 8.4. I know they're playing Buffalo, but Buffalo has struggled against the run, and Cleveland does block well, but they're big dogs in that game. So I don't know. I'm not big on Kamara this week. I think he's a pass for me. It's not sold.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, man. I didn't realize that he was so highly owned. That's pretty wild.
Early projections. I got one more smash. We talked about JT. This one's tough, man, because I really like Ramondre this week, but I know Damian Harris is back. That son of a bitch, and that can ruin everything for everybody. He is the James Robinson of the New England Patriots, basically. You just can't have nice things. But I do like Ramondre this week, and he has slate-breaking ability against the Jets. New England wants to win football.
Yes, they do. Yeah, that's a good point. As far as some running backs, I don't like this week. Speaking of the Jets, I don't like the Jets running backs, having to go up against the Patriots this week.
Yeah.
Washington has been surprisingly good against the run the last 8 weeks they're giving up the fourth least amount of fantasy points per game over the last 8 weeks. So I'm kind of that Dameon Pierce kind of surprises me too. I might be off the top 2 own guys this weekend, I guess.
To me, it's hard. Dameon Pierce, he'll be a play for me anytime he's at 10% or lower. With Houston being so stagnant, not able to score points, man, on FanDuel especially, I just couldn't play Dameon Pierce currently.
And then another one I'm off of this week is the Dallas running backs. Minnesota's run defense has been really good, and it's looking like Zeke's going to be back this weekend. So you're going to have a Zeke Pollard split against a good run defense. They're probably the only piece of that game that I don't like, because I like both tight ends. I love CD. I love Jefferson. I don't like Kirk a whole lot either.
Yeah, I think Dallas does cover well down the field, but I mean it's Justin Jefferson, so they're not going to be.
I'm not worried about Jefferson. I like Jefferson, but I don't know if I like Kirk this weekend. But I like Dalvin Cook. I love Dak. I'm not excited about playing either Dallas running back this weekend either. So
I can almost guarantee it's a Zeke week too because he can pass block better, which helps out with the CeeDee Lamb call and the Dak call that you had earlier. I think the one thing Zeke can do better than Tony Pollard is definitely pass block in the backfield.
Yeah. I mean the Steelers run defense is tough. So Joe Mixon, I know. I think the last time we saw him, he scored 5 touchdowns, but
he's
I think
I
don't think I'm playing Mixon this weekend.
Heck no. He's the second highest priced running back on the slate. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think Mixon, the Dallas running backs, Kamara, Pierce. I think I'm fading those guys this weekend. I'd much rather play Saquon. Much rather play the Washington running backs.
Yeah.
Like I said, both running backs in that Atlanta Chicago game. I wish I knew which running back to pick for the Baltimore game with Gus Edwards coming back, because that's a good matchup. But it's the last time Gus Edwards came back from injury, they threw him in right off the rip. Last minute he's warming up with the ones and he goes out and has a great game. And Kenyon Drake's looked good in his absence, so it's somebody's gonna have a good game, but I don't know which one to pick. So
I like to gamble, but I don't like to lose money. And taking a Baltimore running back is you're basically saying here's some free money, DraftKings and FanDuel, because you don't know which one to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too much of a committee. It worries me a little bit about Washington too, but at the same time, I think Robinson's going to see the volume as far as the actual physical handoffs. But I do see Gibson as a more explosive player, and all he's got to do is get loose. And he can. And
they do still use Gibson around the goal line a little bit, not as much as Robinson, but he does get a few.
Robinson's efficiency is terrible, though.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't play Gibson more. I really whenever you just watch the game, to me it just looks so clear that Gibson is the better running back.
It's the Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott conversation all over again.
Yeah, it might be. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. I think that's all I had on RB though.
Okay, let's
there was one more. There was one more. I need your thoughts on it.
All right.
It doesn't feel good saying it. Najee
okay.
Harris.
Nope.
It's a no?
Nope. Not doing it.
The volume's there, but yeah.
Can't trust it, man.
I know.
I honestly just don't like the Steelers offense. They're an offense I've been off of all year. Even going back into the preseason. And I I don't feel like the upside's there, so I just would rather play other options.
Yeah, I feel you. I figured I'd throw it out there to some volume alone, but
Yeah,
it's just no. It doesn't feel good saying it out loud either.
no. But on the wide receiver side of things, staying in that same game, I like T. Higgins quite a bit this week.
Yeah,
They had the last two games that they've had. They had the game where they got embarrassed by Cleveland, and then they had the Joe Mixon 5-touchdown game. So we haven't really gotten to see that like spike week for Higgins with Chase out, and I think that's the week that I think this is the week that happens. I think we finally see the Higgins, the big Higgins week, and then probably my favorite play of this weekend is CeeDee Lamb. With he's a big reason of why I like Dak so much. He plays just north of 50% of his snaps in the slot, and Minnesota's slot corner is somebody that for DFS we should be picking on every single weekend. The dude is #not good. So fire me up some CeeDee Lamb, man. I love Lamb and Higgins this weekend. So those are probably my two favorite plays at wide receiver.
They're gonna be popular, but for good reasons. And
I think
actually it's a weird slate for wide receiver. I mean, there's some good options like every week, but at the same time, if it holds up, man, like I'm willing to go to the tippy top, and I love Stephon Diggs. I think the matchup is good, and
it's wild that he's priced more than Justin Jefferson after what Jefferson did last week.
Yeah, it is.
But he's a baller and he's worth it. But it's that's wild to me though. But I like Diggs a lot this week too.
Cleveland's a middle of the pack defense and coverage, but I just think this is a get right scenario for Allen and the whole Buffalo Bills in general. And this is a 3-touchdown game. Like it could easily be that with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen this week, but I don't know if he'll get the ownership either, man. I really don't know. It's hard to determine at this point. I thought it would already kind of be steamrolling the moment they announced that game was in Detroit, but because they're the highest price quarterback and the highest price wide receiver, people might not be on it. They may want to pay down and try to get the value, but those are two guys right there that can literally break a slate. And if they come in at sub 10% ownership or under, then sign me up all day for that.
Absolutely.
I like AJ Brown. Did you guys talk about them?
We have not, but that's a good call. I do like AJ.
Especially if Isaiah Rodgers is out. They still got Stephon Gilmore, but they'll probably move him around, try to get him on some favorable matchups, especially if he's on Brandon Faison. That's going to be a bloodbath. Let's see who else here.
We talked about Higgins.
Higgins could be good, yeah.
Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and I think that was pretty much it. So there's still a lot of good picks out there.
Adam Thielen could have a good week too.
I'm done with Adam Thielen, man. I just like every time I play him, I just get burned, and I just at this point it's Jefferson or no Vikings receiver for me.
Yeah, it's hard to fault you for that. If he plays, he's listed as questionable. But if he plays, I said at the end of our last episode that my disgusting stack for this weekend was going to be Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Jones. So he's going into the game with a questionable designation. But if he plays, he's got a cheap price point and the matchup's there, so I'm willing to throw him in a lineup.
They like him. Daniel Jones likes him.
If he doesn't play, I'd be willing to throw Darius Slayton in some lineups. And it's gross, man, but I like Courtland Sutton this week.
Oh, I can't do it.
He's only 7K.
I don't like Courtland Sutton either.
The Raiders secondary is so awful. There's no
I know, man.
possibly no KJ Hamler. Like the the matchup and the potential for volume is just too good for me to pass up. Like I don't think I can do it. I'm going to be guilty of having Sutton in some lineups this week for sure.
Yeah. He currently is coming in at like 18% is what I'm seeing, but I think people will get scared. I do. I think his ownership will drop some, even though you're right. I mean, what else do they have to throw to? Kendall Hilton was a guy, but I kind of mentioned the other night. He's questionable now too with a shoulder injury. So they really are just.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot there in Denver that they have at wide receiver. And the Raiders are bad. I mean, it's not a horrible play. If his ownership drops, then that's a wonderful play. I just don't trust Russell Wilson at all. Like I can't get behind it.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that at all. Not a bit.
He's looked tough. When you got anybody to pass on this week?
Just looking through some stuff here. Probably, I think Brandon Cooks. I'd probably pass on Brandon Cooks this week. Any Patriots wide receiver.
Yeah. That's the one thing that Jets.
DJ Moore would probably be a pass for me.
Yeah, definitely out on DJ Moore. As far as guys at the top, Devontae Adams is probably the number one of the high-priced guys that makes me the most nervous going up against Denver secondary. Man, they're so tough. Patrick Surtain's so good.
He's questionable as well too.
Yeah, so if he plays, he would probably, as far as like the high-priced guy, he's probably the one I'm most nervous about.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's home road splits are like so weirdly drastic. Like usually I don't care about home road splits, but his is so dramatic.
It's so crazy.
That like literally he's unplayable on the road, and then on top of that they're playing Buffalo, so good defense. So I'm probably out on Amari Cooper this week.
I think the field. I really feel like people are going to be on because he's had 2 great weeks in a row. Is Donovan Peoples-Jones, and that's a fate for me because of the matchup. But I think he'll garner some ownership because he's still dirt cheap and. They have a good game script for wide receivers, but I just don't think they can get much going in this game at all. I think it's going to be a rout.
Yeah, I agree.
Or if they do keep it close, it's Nick Chubb. He goes off and breaks off 2 long runs, and they take an early lead. But that's the scenarios for that. Nick Chubb scares me. Like every week, fading that dude just scares me because he can literally just kill in no time.
Yeah, he can, man.
I think Kareem Hunt could have a good game too in that game.
He could. I mean, they're gonna have to. I mean, all indications point that they're gonna have to pass, and I think the wide receiver is gonna have a hard time because of coverage. So it could be some dink and dunks to Kareem Hunt. Maybe he can get some space and pick up some yards. Maybe fall in the end zone.
I don't know what's going on with Kareem Hunt.
They're not running him out there very much.
No, like last week was a perfect Kareem Hunt week. Like Miami was kicking their ass, and he played the least amount of snaps he's played all season. He only played 36% of snaps. Only had 6 rushing attempts. Only had 1 target, and like they were getting boat raced that last week. It's like they made the conscious choice not to trade him at the deadline. And then we're like, all right, we're going to use you the least amount we've used you all year after not trading you. Like I don't know what they're doing with Kareem Hunt. If things go back to where it's a 50-50 split, I would like to play him this week. But if it's more the same as last week, then I don't know what the hell to think of him.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Game script wise, though, man, they're in a bad spot.
Yeah, it should be another perfect Kareem Hunt game, but
we don't know what to expect from it for sure. But I think that about covers it. There's one other gentleman that I think is going to get some steam, and what your guys' thoughts on it? Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I like him on Raw this week.
he is getting a ton of targets. I mean,
Yeah.
just a ridiculous amount of targets.
Yeah. Good player.
Yep. That's what you do whenever you got a wide receiver that talented.
He's good at football. That's for sure.
He is good at the game. Yeah, I like him on Raw as a play this week for sure.
That's all I got.
All right. Let's talk tight ends.
Whew. Andrews is on the slate, but he's been gimpy.
There's actually a few tight ends that I like. I was kind of surprised.
Is Kyle Pitts one of them?
I actually do like Kyle Pitts this week.
I really do like Kyle Pitts this week.
You're gonna fall for it. You're gonna fall for it.
I actually do like Kyle Pitts this week.
I like Dalton Schultz now that Dak's back. He loves throwing to Schultz. Like loves it. And then Schultz ran the most routes that he's ran all year last week. So it looks like he's on the up and up from the injury. He's finally starting to get back to his usage from last year. So yeah, I love if you can fit it into a lineup. I love a Dak CD Schultz stack this week.
Cole Kmet.
I like Cole Kmet a lot this week too.
It's tough not to.
Yeah.
It's one of those he's done it now for like 3 weeks in a row, so like whenever
that drop is coming.
Plug him in there, it's game over, man.
Another gross one. I'm gonna pick on the Raiders again. Another gross choice because of Russell Wilson, but I like Greg Dulcich too, though.
Yeah.
Just like the wide receiver, they're also really bad against the tight end, and Dulcich has been pretty involved the last couple weeks, and he's only 5,500. So I do like him this week. Hawkinson's look good. If you want to play the Minnesota Dallas game and get a little bit different, like get off of Jefferson from the Minnesota side, Hawkinson, I mean, they brought him over and immediately just started working him in like crazy, and he's a good player. So, it makes sense. I don't know how Detroit didn't have that epiphany like, hey, this guy's a really talented pass catcher. We should, feature him in our offense. But Minnesota was able to figure it out. So he looks good.
They figured it out in 2 weeks too. The Lions in how many years?
And Foster Moreau, I mean, you're hoping for a touch. You're hoping for a touchdown. But that's literally the only place Denver's defense can be beat is by tight end. So, but I say it because I think he's a playable option. I'm not going to play him. There's other options at tight end that I like so much more that I'm not even going to entertain it. But I do feel like I need to throw his name out there at least.
What do you guys feel about a Jack Stoll at tight end this week?
Well, he's more of a blocker.
all you need is one. But he was like, you got to assume he's the next man up because he was always in 2 tight end sets with Goddard. He was always the other tight end out on the field. And
like I said, he's more of a blocking guy than he is pass catching.
Yeah, it's a deep flyer, but I think his name will come up a little bit here and there. But yeah,
I mean he's 4,400, man. Like he's free.
Yeah. I mean it's a free square basically.
Yeah, if you can get like 2 catches and him fall in the end zone, you're golden.
You're in great shape. You're in great shape.
Colts defense is that's really good.
I will make the assumption if Mark Andrews is out, Isaiah likely will be the highest owned tight end on the slate by a long shot because he's still 5,400. And if Lamar is playing, then they're going to play whoever is at tight end. So I think he'll get some steam if Andrews is out.
Yeah. You always got to play tight ends against the fun. Oh wait, no, they're on this slate, right?
Who's that?
When does San Francisco, is that Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football?
Like,
The San Francisco and
yeah,
Arizona? That's a
I
primetime
think
game,
they're
isn't it?
Monday
they're
night.
in the
Damn.
game. Yeah,
We can't do the weekly play the tight end that plays against the Arizona
Cardinals.
Cardinals this week.
no, but you
Damn.
can play the tight end that plays against the Texans. That's Logan Thomas. Going back to Landon's stack with Heineke, you could literally get off dirt cheap with Heineke, Terry McLaurin, and Logan Thomas as a stack.
Yeah.
The Texans are bad.
They're definitely bad without Derek Stingley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of my lineups this week are going to have either Schultz, Pitts, or Dulcich in it at tight end.
Does Denver still have 48 tight ends on their roster?
I don't think they're that high anymore.
Who? Denver?
Yeah.
They've got a few guys, yeah, for sure. But
I know at the beginning of the year they were rotating everybody out there.
yeah. Well, they drafted a couple of those rookies. And
Yeah, they start, Alberto got the first shot and he did nothing with it, and then Dulcich came back from the injury, and he's been pretty much the featured guy as far as the pass catching tight end goes.
Albert
since
who?
I just say Albert O because I'm not going to even try to pronounce his last name.
No, I didn't even know he was still a thing to begin with. So.
Yeah, he was the tight end to start the year for Denver. He was supposed to be their guy this year, and then he just did absolutely nothing. And Greg Dulcich came back from injury and immediately outproduced him. So
yeah, he's looked good too, man. He's flashed for sure.
He just to give you an idea, he played 89% of the snaps last week.
There you go.
So that equated to a whopping 1.6 fantasy points. So that's not to say that it's guaranteed he's gonna play well, because he is still playing for the Denver Broncos. But
let Russ cook.
The matchup's there, and he's on the field running routes plenty. So the potential's there at least.
Yeah. All right.
As far as pass, basically every other tight end. The tight end position is so gross, man.
It's awful.
We have no Travis Kelce.
No. It's so bad.
Yeah.
We may get Njoku back this week.
No Travis Kelce. Dallas Goedert's hurt.
No George Kittle.
Like, tight end position on this main slate is gross, man.
Zach Ertz out for the year. Trey
McBride. Kittle is that big of a name anymore, man. Kittle don't do much anymore for me.
I love George Kittle.
Oh, I like George Kittle as a football player, but for fantasy, like, he's just not.
Yeah, the only reason I'm interested is because he's playing against Arizona. That's it.
Yeah,
I think he had like 2 targets last week. Like,
he blocks. I mean, the dude, he is like a great football player for sure. But
he's a great blocker, and they have so many mouths to feed now. Like Debo, Ayuk, both running backs, and Jimmy ain't gonna throw that much, but the matchup is glorious.
Jimmy go for about 20, 25 passes.
That's bad, right?
Yeah. Pretty decent chance of equating to 0 touchdowns too.
Very, very good chance.
That's about right as well.
It's crazy.
God, that is so gross. Which San Francisco wakes up and crosses their fingers that Jimmy won't throw any touchdowns because they're better off whenever he doesn't have to throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
As their record shows.
Well, on to the next gross thing, man. The defense.
So do we want to do our – oh, yeah, we do have to talk about defenses. That's right.
We can skip defense and go ahead and build our lineups.
Yeah, let's build.
Yeah, let's just talk about the defenses while we build the lineups. So do we want to build a lineup together first, or do we want to throw out our FanDuel face-off lineups? What y'all want to do first?
Let's build one together first.
All right, let's build one together.
Mm-mm-mm.
So what are we doing at quarterback this week?
Who's leading off? I'm gonna let Landon lead off.
Oh no.
Landon, who's our quarterback this week?
I told you I like Taylor Heineke this week.
All right, Heineke it is.
It's not a popular decision, but
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
So if we're going Heineke, we got to play Terry McLaurin, right?
Absolutely.
I would play Terry McLaurin this week.
And there's no bring back in that game, right? If there is a bring back, I think it's Nico Collins personally. I think he's a safer option than Brandon Cooks. So if we want to get gross and bring
Brandon
back,
Cooks was one of my fades.
yeah, I think Nico Collins is the best option for a bring back in that game if we're going to do it. It's not that we have to do it, but
it opens up some salary for sure doing that. I'm going to spend some money, and I'm going to go Dalvin Cook at running back. Dalvin.
Okay, so running back 2. Let's see. Let's do Cordell Patterson for running back 2, 6,700.
Sweet. Cordell Patterson.
So we need 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defense. So are we going to bring back? Let's figure that out.
Nico or not?
Are we going to do the Nico Collins bring back, or do we just want to do a little mini stack with Washington?
I kind of like a mini stack because it'll help us out with tight end. We can just knock it out of the park and just get it over with and play Logan Thomas. We do our double stack.
Oh, you want to do the double stack? Okay.
And just get it out of the way and hope. And thoughts are that Heineke just goes bananas.
Okay.
What is he? Nico Collins is 59. Logan Thomas has got to be like 5K, I would imagine.
Yeah, he is. He's 5K on the dot.
On the dot. There we go. Landon, pick us a wide receiver or a flex.
Wide receiver for the flex.
Or a flex. Or you can pick another back if you want to.
For a flex here. Let's see. So who do we already have?
Currently, our lineup is Heineke, Dalvin Cook, Cordell Patterson, Terry McLaurin, and Logan Thomas.
Not Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs? Who fool? All right, Drew. An average salary.
I know we talked about him earlier. So.
No, I love Stephon. No, I'm with you. We can make it work.
I mean, we can go lower.
I'm gonna find us a pay down. I'm gonna find us a pay down option at.
I want to save you some salary. I'll pick us a defense that's cheap.
I'm gonna find a pay down wide receiver option too. We'll be able to make it work. Oh man, that could be gross, but Laviska Chenault's 5,300.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Baltimore. But it's Baker, man. But Laviska's looked really good, though. Like, he hasn't gotten a ton of touches, but he's done so much with the touches he's been given. And they're giving him, like, creative rushing attempts. They're getting the ball in his hands. But it's Baker. No, we can't do it.
What about Chase Claypool?
I don't hate it.
Man,
I don't understand how he only had one. He only had one catch last week out of the 6 attempts, the 6 targets he got. But
he got traded 6 times.
Yep. Oh wait, no, he didn't. He only saw 2 targets. It was 6 targets. He had 6 targets his first game with the team, and then it went down to 2 targets. but the matchup against Atlanta is so good. I don't mind Claypool for a pay down option at all, honestly.
At the same price,
Got
Michael Gallup.
Yep.
Michael Gallup in that Minnesota, and that gives us a Dalvin Cook Gallup stack in that same game.
Yeah, I think I like that more than I do Claypool.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay, let's play Gallup then, save some money. And then what's our pay down defense for this week?
We're just gonna punt, man. We're gonna go Raiders and hope that hope Russell Wilson's as bad as he's been, and that gives us 7,700 in the flex.
Oh, that's solid. 7,700 is not bad at all.
Yep.
We
have a lot of stealing players on this lineup.
I already see the name that I want to put in the flex.
Oh yeah.
You know where I'm going?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think Landon's on the same page as soon as he sees it.
What is it?
He's 7,600.
yeah, he is 7,600.
Who you got?
T. Higgins.
Yeah,
T. Higgins, and it gives us an extra $100, so we can play anyone other than the Raiders. We can play Carolina and hope that Lamar is sitting out and Mark Andrews doesn't play. This is a solid lineup, man.
It's not bad. Heineke makes me nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't mind taking a shot on it though. It's fun.
No risk it, no biscuit.
That is true. No risk it, no biscuit.
Playing Heineke allows us to get Dalvin Cook, Stephon Diggs, and T. Higgins in the same lineup.
Yep. That is a very nice luxury.
Yeah. All right. So Heineke, Dalvin Cook, Cordell Patterson, Terry McLaurin, Stephon Diggs, and my screen went away for a second. Michael Gallup, Logan Thomas, T. Higgins, and Carolina's defense. That's a hell of a lineup there, boys.
That is pretty solid. All right, Jared, you want to build us a draft king up, and then we'll get to our FanDuel face-off lineups.
Yeah. Let's do a DraftKings one. I know it's tight this week on salaries. Let me see what I can put together here, though. 1 second. DraftKings with the differential, with the rushing and bonuses and everything. Let's go with Justin Fields.
Hey.
You want me to go ahead and do a stack with Fields too, or do you think we need a round stack with Justin Fields?
I don't think you have to, but I would do. I do like Mooney this week.
Okay.
Or Cole
I think so too. I think Cole Kmet had the 2 weeks. I think it's a Mooney week.
I feel like this is just my opinion, so correct me if you disagree. But I think you on DraftKings, I think Antonio Gibson's like an auto play for me with it being full PPR.
I like it. It's affordable too. Landon, do you have a pick for us for wide receiver, running back, or tight end?
Wide receiver, running back, or tight end. Let's see here. Let's go Kyle Pitts.
Go Kyle Pitts. All right.
Let's do
it.
For the brand.
That's a nice bring back too.
I like it.
I think, like, honestly, if I was to bring it back in that game, I think that Pitts would be the route that I would go.
I like it a lot. Full point PPR. I don't know how we don't at this point. I think we eat the chalk, gentlemen. We play CD Lamb.
I love it.
we have a lot of low-owned guys outside of CeeDee Lamb and Fields, so we can definitely get a little shock on that. Let me throw in a puke defense real quick to free up some salary. We play a Giants defense.
It's not a bad.
No.
No, I don't mind that play at all.
We'll play a Giants defense, 3,600. We have average remaining salary of 5,300. We need a running back, wide receiver, and a flex. I don't know whose pick it is. Is it my pick?
Yeah, you got us through the rest of it because I can't. I don't even have DraftKings on my phone right now.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So I can't even look at the prices. So you just think out loud so that we can follow along.
All right, gentlemen.
And I'll
Let's see here.
try to give any input on guys in the price range you're looking at once you start naming off names.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me think. I want a pass catching back. Oh, we can play Cordell at 6,200. I think I'm fine with that. That's a fine salary point. He's got no ownership too, which is pretty nice.
He is catching back.
Wide receiver. I need a cheap ass wide receiver to free up some salary.
Paris Campbell, is he cheap?
Paris is not super cheap anymore.
Oh, really?
No, he's 4,300. I don't hate it.
I like Paris Campbell. Anytime Matt Ryan's starting, I like Paris Campbell.
Let's go Paris Campbell. We got 5,400 for a flex position. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Wow. Oh, no, I already got him in. Never mind. I was going to say Darnell Mooney's 5,400.
Put him in there twice.
Put him in there twice. Who has got some ceiling? Is this a 2 tight end week? Man, this is tough. Let's see here. I'm at a loss here, gentlemen. 5,400. I think we're going to play 2 tight ends this week. Let's play Hawkinson.
I like Hawkinson this week. We'll be talking about him again here in just a minute.
I think we're going to play Hawkinson.
So does that finish out the lineup?
Yeah. We're looking at Justin Fields, Antonio Gibson, Cordell Patterson, Darnell Mooney, CeeDee Lamb, Paris Campbell, Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkinson, and Giants defense.
I ain't mad at it.
No, it's not terrible.
All right.
We're going to play a little showdown.
Let's build these lineups against each other then. Yeah.
All right. Go back to the duel.
Just, not for nothing. Off to a 2-0 start this year since we started doing this little face-off, so.
I was going to say, man, you're king GPP, bro, for sure.
GPP, bro.
Where's the face-off?
Need to get that on a T-shirt. We haven't got the invite out yet. You just pull up like any tournament and build your lineup on it.
I will start the process real quick here.
I can already tell you. I can already tell you who I'm playing at quarterback in the face-off this week. I'm putting Dak in. I've talked about him enough on this. He's definitely
You
going to be
have
in
to
my
at this
face-off.
point.
I'm all in on Dak this week. So Dak's my quarterback this week. I can't wait to hear what direction you guys are going though.
I'm going Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
going to play Stephon Diggs. I'm about to spend a ton of money on 2 players, but
it's going to be worth it though. Those guys are going to smash.
I'm sold.
I'm going
Now that they're in the dome.
Yeah,
Justin Fields. Those are probably like my 3 favorite quarterback plays this week, honestly, are the 3 plays we just went with.
I'm going to spend up and try to do a studs and duds kind of approach.
Yeah.
So I want to stick to Dalvin Cook at running back.
Okay.
Go to defense here, and
I had to go cheap at running back for this lineup that I built. So see how much ground I lose compared to the route that you guys go. But I went. I don't want to I didn't go dirt cheap, but I went middle of the road for both my running backs. I took Cordell Patterson at 6,700 and Antonio Gibson at 6,600 are my 2 running backs. So paid down this week at running back, but I'm hoping the rest of the team will make up for it.
I see your Cordell Patterson and raise you one David Montgomery.
I like it. So you got Dalvin Cook and David Montgomery.
Yep.
All right, Landon, what about you?
I also have David Montgomery to pay along with Fields.
David Montgomery
and Saquon Barkley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. I couldn't get Saquon in the lineup this week, but I wanted to. But
Lord, I'm just begging at wide receiver outside of Stephon Diggs.
So that's where I made up some ground. At least I hope. My 3 receivers are CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I like it. Oh my lordy. So I'm gonna do something that's putrid. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I cannot do that. No. Fucking, I want a Josh Allen double stack. I'm going Dawson Knox as my tight end. I hate it.
Did you already say who you were playing at wide receiver? Did I miss it?
No, I skipped ahead.
Okay. No, you're good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss what you were playing.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'm not going to play Dawson Knox. I want to spend up again. I want to play Gabe Davis. I got my double stack. I can't play Dawson Knox.
I like that double stack a lot.
Yeah. I am low on some salary right now, but we'll figure it out.
What about you, Landon? What you thinking at wide receiver?
It's tough. Goodness. I'm gonna go well off the reservation here, though. I've got Terry McLaurin, Adam Thielen, and Skoranek.
Oh man, Big Ben
had to save some money somewhere.
Hey, there you go. It's all about saving that cash.
Ben Skoranek is going to be a lot more involved than all the people that rush to the waiver wire to pick up Van Jefferson this week are going to like. Jared, you got your receivers?
I've got 2. I need to pick a third.
Okay. All right, who's the 2 you got?
I've got Diggs and Gabe Davis. So I've got.
That's right. You got the double stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Josh Allen, Diggs, and Gabe Davis have the potential to get you so many fantasy points just by themselves this week.
I almost want to get off my Gabe Davis pick though, man, and get a little sneaky and save some salary. I'm gonna drop Gabe Davis. I'm gonna go Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, okay. So you still got the double stack going, just a much cheaper version.
Yes. That allows me to get my third wide receiver, who I will copycat you. I'm going T. Higgins.
I love it, man. So, I got the Dak CeeDee Lamb stack. So my bring back in that game is I'm going to play TJ Hawkinson at tight end at 6,500.
I like it.
You said, who'd you say your tight end? Wait, no, you decided against Dawson Knox, so you don't have a tight end anymore, right?
Yeah, I pulled back on Dawson. I'm going to save a little money and play. Oh my god, the ultimate punt. He didn't get there last week, and I don't think he'll get there again. So I'm not going to do it after all. I'm going to play. I'm going to play Logan Thomas at 5K.
Okay. What about you, Landon? What you doing at tight end?
Got Dalton Schultz.
I like it. I like that play a lot.
I want to play Dalton Schultz.
I finished off my lineup with Darnell Mooney in the flex, and then the Raiders defense at 3,200 to save some money.
Yeah, I've currently got Carolina sitting in there, but depending on what's up. Ooh. Ouch. I got 5,700 left. Well, I need a little mini stack. Oh, I don't love it. I want to go Drake London at 5,700.
I know that can't feel good.
It doesn't feel good at all.
I have Gabe Davis in the flex and the Steelers defense.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Let me look at tight end one more time here and see if I can get off of freaking Drake London. I can't play Drake London, man. He's just.
Yeah, no, it sucks, man. He has such a good start to the year.
Yep.
I had such high hopes, but you can only outperform expectations whenever you're fighting against Arthur Smith and Marcus Mariota for so long.
Oh yeah. Let's play instead of. I want to change it up at tight end. I'm going to play a little bit of. I think New England they covered the wide receiver, so I'll play CJ Houshmandzadeh, or not Houshmandzadeh, but
Uzomah?
Yeah, that frees me up 6,300. Whatever the hell his name is, and at that point, New England runs the shit out of the ball, and it doesn't matter who it is because they're playing the Jets and they defend the pass. I'll play Damian Harris. At 6,300.
Honestly, I don't hate that on FanDuel. It's not going to surprise me at all to see him get in the end zone.
Yep, that's my thought process with it.
All right, so Jared, top to bottom, who you got?
Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, David Montgomery, Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, T. Higgins, CJ, Damian Harris, and Carolina's defense.
All right, Landon.
For full matchups?
Yeah, what's your full lineup look like now?
Justin Fields, David Montgomery, Saquon Barkley, Terry McLaurin, Adam Thielen, Ben Skoranek, Dalton Schultz, Gabe Davis, and the Steelers defense.
I like it.
All right, then I got Dak Prescott, Cordell Patterson, Antonio Gibson, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T.J. Hawkinson, Darnell Mooney, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
Gross.
So there we did it. This disgusting Week 11 slate is in the books for DFS. And
It's done. It's
early
finished.
indications, I felt much better. I felt much better on Wednesday night whenever we were talking about at the end of the episode. I felt much better about this slate at that point than I did tonight. Once we actually really started going through it.
The closer to Sunday, the worse I feel about it.
I was much more confident on Wednesday night than I was as tonight rolled around. This slate just felt gross.
Hey, that one we put together, man. I really like that lineup we put together as a team. I thought that was a pretty good one.
I put it in a tournament, so we'll
Yeah,
see how it goes.
There's a lot of ceiling play on that one. There's quite a bit.
It's like Highlander. Can only be one.
I just gotta hope. I gotta hope and pray Isaiah McKenzie gets 2 touchdowns, but he's got Josh Allen at quarterback, so it can happen. And then
it could happen.
Ramondre doesn't leave the bus, and Damian Harris comes in and literally smashes. And CJ Uzama remembers he was in a Super Bowl last year. That's all that has to happen this week.
I don't think he was. Was he hurt in that Super Bowl?
He played a part of that team.
Yeah, he was.
He played well in the playoffs until he got hurt.
Yeah, he had a knee injury.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
I think he might have came back for that game. But
oh my God, I just realized the correlation I had though. I have the Jets tight end and one of New England's running backs. That's good correlation for just like shit picks, basically. And then also that's the only correlation I have outside of my stack. But I thought that's kind of good for what it is. So, trying to make myself feel better about this.
Just talk through the pain, man.
Gabe Davis about to have 5 touchdowns. I'll be like, oh yeah, I had him for a moment.
he was in my lineup for a very brief moment.
Probably if Gabe Davis has 5 touchdowns, I'll probably end up winning our little.
I'll be like, Landon, you son of a bitch.
I think Landon will handle the face-off if he has 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'll win that $2.
It's $2.50. Yeah.
It's a big bucket.
It will be mine. That Snickers bar will be mine.
We need to start opening this up and see if we can get like 10, 15 people in there with us every week.
Yeah.
Sweeten the pot a little bit.
It'll be sweet.
The only thing that sucks though is if 10 people don't join, then the tournament bellies up. It cancels itself out.
Yeah.
It won't play at all. So
we know for a fact that 3 of us will get on there and donate $1.
Yeah.
Donate $1 to Drew's cause because he's won 2 weeks in a row.
All that means is I'm about to shit the bed this weekend. That is all that means.
I'm thinking about 150 max in this tournament just because and I feel like I'm running out of football. There's not much left. And I know what it's going to be like towards the end of the year, and I'm not going to want to play hardly at all because they'll start playing. It'll be like preseason all over again. So I'm on the fence. I'm really considering it.
All right, Landon.
Play Damian Harris this week, guys.
Oh, we are. We're good? We're good?
We're done. We're good. Week 11 DFS Smasher Pass is in the books.
Look at that. Another one. So if you did join us for the full show, thank you guys so much. If you like what you hear, you play some of these matchups, you win a little money. Make sure to show your boys some love, especially Big Jared and Drew. They do the heavy lifting on these type of things. So make sure to give them a follow. Their Twitter handles are in the description for as long as Twitter stays alive.
It's in good hands, Landon.
What?
It's in good hands.
Yeah. Well, apparently, last night everything was going to shut down. It was the apocalypse of Twitter. So
that's all that I read the whole damn night, dude.
Yeah, and it's still there this morning. So how nice. That being said, if you did enjoy it, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the like button on the YouTube, and then make sure you also follow us on Twitter at 3Man Rush Podcast. We will be back next week to bring you Week 12. Finally, you know what? We're getting closer and closer to some of these divisions being decided. A lot of interesting stuff going on, so make sure to give us a follow there. And outside of that, you guys got any closing statements? You all good?
Hopefully we all make some money this weekend.
Yeah.
Play the best plays, eat the chalk. What did I write the other night?
Win $1 million,
Don't be creative.
and I am not working on Thanksgiving. How about that? All right. Y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week.
Just keep spinning.